disrupt the flow of water in the gutters and cause them to back up.
Okay, I want to talk about something that you on social media, I think the thing that I wanted to see most when we went to your house was the fire pit in your backyard. Because if anybody's ever thought, I don't know if I really use a fire pit or not, Dean will get up early in the morning, especially like in the fall or in the winter when it gets a little bit cooler and brisk. He does his cup of coffee and he'll go out by his fire pit and hang out there. And the pictures of like watching you at 5 o'clock in the morning sitting by your fire pit always seemed like the most zen moment to me.
They are. They're how I start every single day. I mean, throughout the year. Autumn especially when the weather starts to turn. But even during the summer. At 5 o'clock in the morning, things are always cool enough to turn the fire pit on to some setting. I sit out there. I start my day there every single day.
And this is the time when we should be thinking about that, because if people maybe don't have one in the summer because they thought, it's too hot or whatever, this is the time to put it in because the brisk season is right around the corner.
Exactly. And I love fire pits as opposed to outdoor fireplaces. Now, there's nothing wrong with an outdoor fireplace, but you just got to know a couple of things about an outdoor fireplace. Number one, they cost thousands of dollars. I mean, crazy lots of money. And if it's an architectural feature you're going for, have at it. But even the largest outdoor fireplace, there's a huge one. There's a cafe, kind of an open air cafe area in our town called Stonehouse. Very, very popular. They have a huge outdoor fireplace. I mean, we're talking, you can almost walk into it, right? The firebox is so large.
Wow.
Still, during cold weather, about 3 people can get in front of it. And that's it, because the box is only so big, and everybody else is left in the cold to have to, handle the gas heaters and things like that. A fire pit, on the other hand, a fire pit can be built so that it really puts out heat, and you can circle, and this is why ours is so popular. It's sort of the social center of our tribe for our home. We can get 8, 10 people around a fire pit on a brisk evening, and everybody stays warm, and everybody's facing each other, and everybody's interacting with the glow of the fire. It's just like having a campfire out in the middle of nowhere. Except it's in our backyard. It turns on, it turns off, and it's the best thing ever. So I strongly recommend, in terms of budget and social value, the fire pit over the fireplace.
I love it. Okay, now you're saying that this is the time when we should be trimming trees and shrubs. I think a lot of times we think about that in spring and making sure that they are ready to bud and do their thing. But I guess we have to kind of get them winter ready too.
Yeah, well, in Southern California, it's not so much about getting them winter ready as if they have to face a harsh winter.
Sure.
But the reality is, what most people don't realize is that no matter where you live, the best time to trim a tree or a shrub is in autumn as winter starts to set in, because trimming a tree is always a shocking issue for a tree. It's also the best time to plant a tree, by the way, for the same reasons. Shock. When you're going to do major surgery on a tree, the best time to do it is when it's starting to fall into its period of dormancy, when it's starting to fall asleep. So it will take the rest of the winter to kind of recover from whatever branches have been pruned and whatever you've done to it. And then come spring, it'll burst out in beauty. When it's trying to break out in the springtime, then to prune it back, that's a severe shock to a tree. Not that most trees won't survive them. I'm simply saying best time to trim a tree is in fall as it starts to fall asleep, and let it take the winter to recover.
All right, that sounds perfect. And then when it comes to kind of shifting like you mentioned, the inside of your house, getting it ready. So this is the time we should be cleaning the ovens. This is the time we should be sort of doing the tune-up on the kitchen, because if you think about it, this is when you start having people over for major meals. Thanksgiving's on the way, Christmas is on the way, and so that only makes sense. You don't want to have that oven that has that thing that's burned in the bottom that smokes every time you turn the oven on. You clean it now before that smoke fills up your kitchen.
Yeah, now is the time, like I was saying, that fall cleaning, and this especially counts for the kitchen. For most of us, we're going to entertain at least to a certain degree over the holidays. Some of us are going to entertain a lot. The kitchen is never going to experience more pressure on it than during the holidays. So we're about to enter into this Super Bowl of seasons for the kitchen. So now is the time to get everything cleaned up, everything tuned up, ready to go.
All right, Dean, thank you as always for all of this. And I know that people are listening to this morning, but they're thinking, oh my gosh, I have so many things I want to ask him this weekend. So the call-in shows will start tomorrow morning, 6 to 8, and then Sunday morning from 9 to 11. Or you can hit him up on social media ahead of time at Home with Dean. Dean, have a wonderful weekend, and I'm going to go find some, lumberjacky type sweater right now because I just feel like it. You've put me in the mood for fall.
You know what? It's just that time. I like this quote. This is my favorite autumn quote. The trees are about to show us how beautiful it is to let things go.
A quote from our 1967 Cougar. Dean, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, see you later. Dean Sharp. That guy. Love him. All right, we come back. This is a story that I have wanted to follow up on. Remember how I told you last week that I had heard that the mayor of Pasadena wanted to start a grading system for the restaurants to show COVID compliance. So which one, in other words, which restaurant was compliant? You know how you see the A, B, C, D, letters in the window based on how clean they are. They get those from the health department. Well, in this case, the mayor wants to rank them as far as COVID compliance, and I think it's probably for the consumer mostly, but I also think that it would benefit the restaurant, and I'll tell you why. That's coming up. We actually have the mayor of Pasadena joining us next. Right now, let's take a look at that drive, and Nick's checking out the 210 in Silmar. Hello, Nick. All right. Nick's not there. We'll get back to him in just a few minutes.
All right, well, I'm still here, so before I leave, let me tell everybody, ever since Duffy Power, the generator people, became a sponsor here at KFI, I've been getting a lot of questions about how home backup generators work. So here's my attempt to explain it in 10 seconds. Once Duffy evaluates your home, they hook you up with a perfect generator to meet all of its needs. And then when the next outage occurs, while everybody else around you loses power, your generator automatically takes over and life continues uninterruptedly. When the power comes back on, the generator knows that too, turns itself off. It's really just that easy. What's also easy is that Duffy gives you 0% interest financing, payments as low as $72 a month, which makes emergency power for your entire home totally affordable. Now, as you know, the pandemic has things in short supply. Generators are no exception, so don't wait. Call Duffy today, and they're going to make sure your life, your comfort, your safety won't be interrupted during the next outage or any of the ones after that. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power. Pound 250, Duffy Power, or find Duffy on the web, excuse me, at duffypower.com. That's DUTHIE power.com.
Let's get back to Nick and check that drive on the 210.
In Fillmore, on the eastbound side at Pulse, you've got emergency crews on the scene, and it looks like all eastbound lanes are shut down right now. Looks like it was a fire that was originally reported out, but allegedly that car fire is still going. So you'll see delays 210 eastbound Yarnell as you make way toward Pulse. Got an update on this or anything else slowing you down? Pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic. Starting to get busy for you through Linwood, westbound side of the 105 from before Long Beach Boulevard and stretches as you make way toward Crenshaw Boulevard, and the 91 westbound as an alternate to the 105 west. Looks pretty decent right now through the LA County area. Nothing major going down out of Orange County. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Poliochini.
This report is sponsored by Mercury Insurance. Californians, just like you, are saving a lot of money by bundling their home and auto insurance with Mercury. A fast, free quote is only a click away. So what are you waiting for? Go to mercuryinsurance.com to get a quote and start saving today.
This is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Electrolit.
A judge denied a woman's request for a restraining order against Trevor Bauer. The LA judge decided the Dodgers pitcher posed no threat to the woman who accused him of sexual assault. After the ruling, MLB officials extended Bauer's administrative leave for a sixth time. He remains under investigation by police and the MLB. And the Red Hot Dodgers edged the Mets, extending their winning streak to 7. I'm Misty Jordan.
Rates subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount requirements apply. 60% loan to value and 740 FICO credit score. Certain restrictions apply. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lenders Law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Unbelievable. Home loan rates have dropped again at IntelliLoan. Today, Intel alone is offering a 1.875% rate in the APR with no points and no lender fees. Did you hear that? A 1.875%. Don't think you qualify? I bet you haven't called Intel alone. You don't have to have perfect credit to get this great home loan. So lock in this unbelievably low 1.875% fixed rate in APR with no points and no lender fees. So call Intel alone before the rates go up. Call them at 1-800-918-6200. That's 1-800-918-6200. Or just go to intelalone.com.
Intel alone. Borrow smart.
Go fast and push yourself when you run, swim, or play any sport. And stay hydrated with Electrolit. Electrolit's great flavors and scientifically superior hydration formula help you recover in an instant. Head to your local 7-Eleven and grab a cold and hydrating Electrolit.
Spectrum Business called their competitors to see if any of them could beat Spectrum's Business Internet Plus phone offer for $69.98 per month with no added phone taxes or fees. Here are real quotes from the competition.
Hardly pulling a no-fees and taxes, that's madness.
I would 100% go with Spectrum.
Even the competition recommends Spectrum Business. Call 855-339-5344 and switch to Spectrum Business today.
Competitor quotes from actual phone conversations. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Call for details.
There are no limits to what we can do together. So let's keep rising, California. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Your actions save lives. To learn more, visit covid19.ca.gov.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Someone uses your toilet and it overflows. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is for your guests and for you? Hello, I'm John Akoyan, owner of Rooter Hero Plumbing. You're hosting a party, the water's on the floor, and your guest has to tell you that the toilet is backed up. And worst of all, you have to tell your guests that they can't use the bathroom. I shudder when I tell this story because it happened to me. Can you imagine? I own Rooter Hero Plumbing and my toilet overflowed. Talk about being humbled. Well, the truth is, it could happen to anyone. And the solution is to call 866-DRAIN-77. That's what I did, and our plumber was here within the hour. Not because I'm the owner, but that's just what we do. I'm so confident that you'll be satisfied with our services that I put my cell phone number on every business card. 866-DRAIN-77. That's 866-DRAIN-77.
102-8886.
When it comes to the ins and outs of business security, Bay Alarm brings the best, like access control systems to protect your people and your property. Because if your security is not the best, you're not secure. Now, more than ever, Bay Alarm. ACO 28CCL 880138.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome to your Friday morning. Glad you're here with me. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, and some of the stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Going to a Dodgers game this weekend? Grab your mask, because starting today, everyone who goes to an outdoor mega event of more than 10,000 people, like a baseball game, a football game, open-air concert, whatever, now has to wear a mask. The new COVID-19 health order went into effect last night at midnight, and it requires mask wearing, except when eating or drinking. All right, speaking of COVID, it's a story that I heard about last week that I wanted to follow up on, and I asked Alex to reach out to Pasadena Mayor Victor Gordo to kind of explain his situation and kind of his idea for restaurants in the city, and the mayor agreed to join us this morning. So, Mayor Gordo, good morning to you. Thanks for joining me on Wake Up Call.
Good morning to you.
Hey, I saw this in two ways last week. I thought, on one hand, if there is some sort of restaurant grading system, this is great for people because then you can decide where you want to spend your money based on the grade of the restaurant. However, it also serves as great incentive to a restaurant to be compliant with COVID-19. So how'd you get this? How'd you come up with this idea?
Well, I recall in my youth the great housekeeping seal of approval. And as we look to providing incentive to not just public employers who we can mandate, public employees who can mandate to take the vaccine, but as we look to provide a mandate for private sector employees in restaurants and other businesses, the gold seal of approval came to mind. I thought it would be great for residents to be able to say, I'm going to spend my dollars here because this is a business that has a 100% vaccination policy and or testing policy, and I'll feel safe there. I also believe it's an opportunity for brand identification. Restaurants are able to say, we're doing our part to keep everyone safe. If you come to our restaurant, the person coming to your table, you can be certain has been tested and or vaccinated.
Okay, so that would mean for the servers in the restaurant then, but also if you went to that restaurant and you were really concerned about being in a restaurant where people had been vaccinated, that sort of thing, or that you knew the person sitting next to you knew that that was important to them, a restaurant with a higher rating would mean that assurance is probably there as well.
I believe so. When I looked at the numbers, and today we're at 93% vaccination about the people in Pasadena who have received at least one vaccine. Over 83% are fully vaccinated. So I believe that people in Pasadena are saying we are taking the vaccine and we'd like to encourage others. This is one way to provide an incentive to businesses to do that. And as you point out, by extension, people who want to be in that environment will go to these businesses for that reason. They know that the staff is vaccinated and those around them are also vaccinated.
And Mayor Gordo, what I like about your idea is that so many people right now are a lot of business owners, I should say, have expressed that they hate all these different mandates. That if I want to abide by them, then I should be able to abide by them. This is my business, that sort of thing. I'm sick of Big Brother and that kind of thing. This is a way, though, to incentivize businesses without a mandate. You're just saying, hey, if you go and if you are good and you comply with all of these rules, we will give you that extra seal of it's kind of like the gold star that you would get in a classroom. Like, hey, if you do really good, you're going to get this gold star. And who doesn't want that gold star? So it's sort of, it's an encouragement without a punishment. I always like to say, it's like when you're, walking the dog, they say, when the dog's bad, don't get on the dog then. Reward the dog for good behavior. And I don't mean to use the dog. That's just, I love animals, so that's my thing. But you know what I mean? That why not reward people for doing the right thing? I like that way of looking at it.
Yeah, and when I met with our local business community, they had the same reaction. They said, no, this is great. It's a great way for us to communicate to our employees. Let's do our part. This is not a mandate, but let's do our part, and we can opt into the program. Reassure our customer base that we are doing our part and distinguish ourselves as we all seek to be safer together.
Yeah, and I think, too, that's important. I'm glad you pointed that out. Opt in. So restaurants aren't forced to even be a part of this program, but if they want to show that they are compliant, that they get that gold star, this is their opportunity to do it.
Absolutely. And keeping in mind that, over 93% of the people in Pasadena are already moving in that direction by receiving at least one dose of vaccine, it's really market driven. You know, the market is telling us and that it's moving in this direction, and this is an opportunity for restaurants and other businesses to join in on a voluntary basis.
Well, Mayor Gordo, thank you so much for your time this morning. I appreciate you getting up early, and I really like this program.
You bet. Thank you, Jennifer, and we'll see you in Pasadena.
Hey, I will be there for the Pasadena Humane Society's Wiggle Waggle Walk on September 19th.
That's terrific. I'll see you then.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you there. This is KFI and KOSTHD2 Los Angeles. I don't know if the mayor was planning on going to that, but now if you don't think I'm going to hit him up to make sure that he meets me there and joins the KFI Wigglers, you're crazy. Of course that guy's going to be there. Nick, what's going on now on the 210?
Jen, if anybody can make it happen, it's going to be you, Mama. Just got to be honest with that one. It's going to be a mess. You're welcome. It's a mess for the drive, although lanes are finally clear. Eastbound side of the 210 at Polk. As you make your way through the Stillmar area, it was a wreck, had all lanes shut down, a car fire as well. Appears that lanes have been cleared, although you're still seeing some right-shoulder activity, so stick with it. The delays will dissipate here sooner than later on the eastbound side of the 210. It's still pretty heavy for you to come away from the 5 heading toward Polk. Now, you can always use the 118 as an alternate off the 5 to the 210, if that'll save you a little bit of time this morning. Got an update to something slowing you down, pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic. Definitely heavier this go around through the downtown LA area on the westbound side of the 10, Santa Monica Freeway, seeing delays off the 60 as you make your way toward the 110, South LA 110 North, still going for you from before Slauson as you make your way toward Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, and 101 North through downtown LA leading 4th, heading toward the 110, slow going for your drive. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Rick Poliokini.
Hey, Gary, how are things?
Things are great, but I crushed my mortgage payment with owning without even leaving my couch. I got a refi at a great low rate, and owning did it all in less than 3 weeks. It was easy, no muss, no fuss.
Be like Gary. Call Owning at 833-2-OWNING and crush your mortgage payment with today's 15-year fixed refi at 1.5% rate, 1.912% APR. That's right, 15-year fixed at 1.5% rate, 1.912% APR. Even if you've refinanced recently, call 833-2-OWNING and let us crush your monthly payment even more.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. You can crush it too with a 15-year fixed, 1.5%, 1.912% APR refi.
That's 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free premium delivery. Ends Monday.
SoCal weather from KFI. It's a partly cloudy Friday, but a cool weekend ahead. Listen to these temperatures. So today, highs will be upper 60s to mid 70s at the coast, mid to upper 70s for Metro LA and OC, low to mid 80s for the valleys and the IE, and that's your forecast for the weekend. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the news with Wayne starts now.
Handle on the news.
The way's always been crazy.
Strange creatures, dimensional rifts,
Spontaneous harmony.
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's gray, and Wednesday's too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. What did Thursday do to that guy? Seems unnecessarily harsh. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's not like they're getting a ton of love from him. But it's not that bad. Then get to Thursday, it's a complete repudiation of Thursday. Doesn't seem fair. It's the Bill Handel Show. Bill recovering from heart valve surgery. We're going to have him call in at 9 o'clock as we do every day, see what's on his mind. The morning crew is here. Good morning, Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Hello, happy Friday, Wayne.
And to you. I'm going to make something up now because I didn't look it up. Hey, did you know it's National Cheddar Cheese Popcorn Day?
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
Unless I completely coincidentally made up a thing that is true.
Okay, I'm looking up what actually day is.
National Cheddar Cheese Popcorn. I'm going to continue to make up facts while you look up some real information. Cheddar cheese flavored popcorn invented in 1958 by a third grade teacher in Bloomington, Indiana. His name was Timmy Kavanaugh, and he had brought in a block of cheddar cheese. He loved to snack on cheddar cheese during classes.
Okay.
And he had brought in a block of cheddar cheese. And one day, the HVAC system went haywire at the school overnight.
Wow.
The heat came on, and it was 100 degrees overnight in the classroom, and the block of cheddar cheese became desiccated. All the moisture was just sucked out of the thing. He came in the next day, and his beloved block of cheddar cheese was just a pile of dust.
Wow.
And he decided to make lemonade out of the lemons that life had handed him, and he happened to have come in with a big bag of popcorn.
Oh.
For the kids, because they were going to show. Well, they were going to show a movie.
Oh, I see.
They were going to show that driver's ed movie, Red Asphalt.
Oh, it's always a popcorn pleaser.
And which now this story, of course, because you're not showing that to third graders, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so he said, you know what, I forget the kids, they're not going to get any popcorn. I'm going to take this and dump it in the bag of popcorn. And he shook it furiously, and it was just to get his anger out. He said, I don't want to hit any of these kids when they come in because I'm so mad about my cheese. So I will make this shaking bag, shake it vigorously. I'll get all my anger out. And then he looked at it and he said, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what that tastes like. And he tasted it and he loved it. And then the kids came in and he said, kids, do I have a surprise for you today in the third grade? Number one, we're going to watch a movie where people get killed in car crashes, and you're going to see a guy laying on the pavement with his face flapping off of his skull.
Yeah, it's good. Really good.
I'll never forget that image.
No?
When we saw that. Anyway, and the kids were like, yay! And then he said, and taste this. And they all tasted it, and they loved it. Loved it. And the next thing that happened is he sold it at the county fair, and then it spread across the country. And now, cheddar cheese flavored popcorn is ubiquitous. Every kid loved it. One kid, turns out, that was the day he found out he was lactose intolerant.
Oh, that was little Johnny, wasn't it?
That was little Johnny Pemberton.
All right. While that story was good, I don't think that anybody should call you and ask you to do impromptu bedtime stories for their kids. I'm just being honest. However, it is National Radio Day.
I forgot.
You made up it was National Cheddar Cheese Popcorn Day.
I did.
But you forgot it was National Radio Day.
Everything you just said is correct.
Did you also forget it's National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day?
No, I didn't know that. I never knew that, so I didn't forget it.
I feel like this is Alex's responsibility for not letting us know and getting a chocolate pecan pie in to the studio today.
Hey, Alex, at 6:10 in the morning in Burbank, California, go get a chocolate pecan pie.
As you do. It's National Bacon Lovers Day. I knew that one.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
I get the newsletter.
I'm sorry, so wait, you knew it was National Bacon Lovers Day and you didn't bring a bacon for a chocolate pecan pie, Alex? I mean, really? Oh, listen to that radio silence.
Hey, let's
It's National Radio Day, guys.
not turn on each other on a Friday, okay?
There's bacon involved, Wayne.
Okay, anyway, good morning.
Hi, Wayne.
I was just trying to, many years ago, I took an improv class at Upright Citizens Brigade, and I just thought, Maybe try to dust off those skills and come up with a story.
I think the face slapping off the
Well, that's from reality. There's a driver's ed film.
Oh, yeah, we all
And that is an image that is still to this day burned in my brain. Because the guys, it's like all the skin part.
Oh, right.
It's all, it's mostly intact, but it's disconnected from his skull, except it's attached by like a hinge of flesh. And it's literally, it's like flapping in the wind. True fact. People know, I guarantee you right now, there are other people who are like, oh yeah, I remember that. I guarantee you, many people saw it, and many people were scarred by that. I don't remember another thing from any of those movies. I only remember Flappy Face Man. And I feel highly confident that I'm not alone. Existentially, of course, we're all alone. But in terms of just remembering that, I'm not the only one.
What the hell did you have for dinner?
I took a textbook on existential philosophers